Alexa, switch on studio.
Okay.
This is my desk. This is the place where everything begins. Over the years, I've tried dozens of different desk setups. It's hard to explain, but finding the perfect setup has almost become an obsession. From choosing the colors and materials to perfectly and almost compulsively positioning every single element, to combining essential products and accessories, all the way to achieving perfect harmony between the physical and digital worlds. For years now, I have adopted a minimalist approach, but it doesn't resemble those extreme setups with just a monitor and a keyboard and nothing more. I would call it functional minimalism. It aims to exclude everything that is superfluous, but not everything. It's more of a mental approach to things. I have a rather rational and planning mind, but working in the creative field, I constantly need to find inspiration. And while this is extremely easy in the digital world, even though sometimes there are too many stimuli, in my studio I wanted to create a clean and rational setup, but not too rigid. For this reason, today I want to introduce you to one of my greatest obsessions, the quest for the perfect setup. Designing. Perhaps the most complex and important phase. Fortunately, we don't have to start from scratch, as there are several tools we can use today. My favorite is simple: Pinterest, the best social platform for finding inspiration in any field. I have always found Pinterest's algorithm incredible, the way it quickly relates to what you are looking for. As soon as you find an image that even slightly resembles your idea, you will find thousands more like it. If you don't have a clear idea of the final result yet, you can create a personal mood board where you gather various images. After selecting about 20, you can ask the algorithm to find related images and you are all set. My best inspiration for the creation of this workspace are Anders Vidozza, Mattia and KUXIU. However, designing isn't just about finding an inspiration. Once you have completed your mood board and have enough material to start with, you need to adapt everything you have seen to your space. You can first create a digital version of your space using sites like Planner 5D, or you can directly start searching for products to include. Personally, I usually make a quick sketch on my iPad just to get an idea of the final arrangement of objects. I also create a mood board on Freeform where I can add notes, comments, text, and especially images and screenshots from across the web. I use it practically like an enhanced Pinterest, a collector but more like a physical notebook where I gather everything together. The psychology. Let's start with colors. First of all, when I entered this space 2 months ago, the walls were yellow. I've worked for years with a white wall in front of me. Well, while it's true that dark colors tend to create a sense of oppression, I personally find it very comfortable to work with. It helps you enter a specific mental state. So, primary color, dark shades. Secondary color, walnut wood. And finally, as an accent, I chose to use the green of the plants. The desk is an IKEA tabletop supported by 2 Alex drawers. Having enough space, I decided to take the largest desk possible. Even though I'll only use the 50% of the surface, I wanted to fill it with empty space around. Sometimes I tend to occupy it unnecessarily, but I've realized that in the end I just feel comfortable leaving it like that. A few days ago, watching a video by KUXIU, which is one of my favorite creators, I saw this cutting pad and immediately bought it. I've been using a regular black mat for a long time, but this recent purchase, in my opinion, added that last missing piece. Its color, but especially the fact that it's Madrid, pushes me a lot to create something physical or to write. These are details, it's true, but details matter. In front of me, I have placed this Balolo desk shelf. Many use these shelves just to put as many things as possible on the desk, as they actually create more space. I decided to use it to create a kind of note system. At the bottom, I have a notepad from which I tear off sheets to write down quick notes for the day or activities I want to remember over time. I leave the leather on the side of the shelf and pick them up occasionally to review and rework them. As much as I love technology and I use it daily, I deliberately left something paper-based, as from time to time I try to not lose the habit of handwriting. Recently I also read that there are some studies showing that handwriting has several benefits on memory, as it is an activity that requires much greater mental and physical effort than typing. That's why I recently started keeping a sort of notebook where I like to keep random notes, thoughts, quick sketches, always to not limit everything to the digital world only. The desk shelf isn't only used to organize this note system, but also to hold this beautiful KUXIU wireless charger, which is is also the sponsor of this video. I've been collaborating with KUXIU for months and it's incredible that they release new products or variations daily. This wireless charger, for example, is completely covered in wood, matching perfectly with the rest of the space. But above all, I find it very useful, especially for using the iPhone in standby mode and therefore always having all the information I need at hand. As usual, you will find all the links to their products in the description. An essential aspect for building the setup is lighting. Very often, lights can drastically change the look and perception of a workspace. For this reason, I decided to use this BenQ light bar that helps me both to save valuable space on the desk, not having to install other lamps, but above all, it illuminates not only the desk but also the wall. This detail is fundamental and really improves the experience. Especially with the walls so dark, it really helps not to strain the eyes too much after prolonged sessions in front of the PC. In total, there are 5 lights that only occupy the workspace area. 2 on the sides of the desk, 2 in the center on the wall to fill the dark wall, and 1 light on the opposite side of the desk to balance the natural light coming from the window on the right side. Back, shoulder, neck pain, carpal tunnel syndrome, eye strain, risk of obesity, cardiovascular problems, leg and hip pain. These are just some of the main issues associated with long hours spent sitting in front of the PC. That's why ergonomics come into play. The things I consider most important are vision, posture and overall comfort. That's why if I had a limited budget, the things I would absolutely invest in are a great chair, good lighting and a good mouse. I use the Logitech MX Master 3S as an ergonomic mouse and this simple but in my opinion incredible chair from IKEA. There are also many helpful tips for understanding how to position all the items well to avoid other issues, such as placing the top of the monitor at eye level so as not to strain the neck or determining the ideal chair height. In any case, if you want to delve deeper, I leave some resources in the description. In conclusion, these are the insights I've gathered after years of perfecting my desk setup. For many, a desk might just be a piece of furniture and the effort I put into refining every detail might seem unnecessary. However, I believe in the power of perfection and I wanted to share my experience with you. And as always, wishing you the best. See you soon.